The smooth surface of the console resisted his frantic inputs as the system spiraled out of his control. Nara, the team's cultural analyst, leaned over a secondary terminal. Her deep purple skin flushed a bright violet, a clear sign of anxiety. What do you mean, unauthorized? No species on this planet has the capability to breach our encryption. That's impossible. Zorth shot her a look. Well, someone clearly didn't get the memo. Look at this. They've overridden our mainframe protocols. XYVL, the junior researcher, stumbled into the room, his tentacles clutching a data pad. I just ran a diagnostic. It's not just a breach. They've restructured parts of our system. It's more efficient now. Before they could process the implications, the central console's main screen flickered. The alien crew's luminous eyes widened as a human face appeared, pale, emotionless, and staring with unnerving precision. It was Mark Zuckerberg. Greetings, he said, his tone calm and devoid of inflection. The faint hum of his optimized digital presence seemed to resonate even through the ship's audio systems. I noticed an unfamiliar signal originating from your vessel. Care to introduce yourselves? The room fell silent. Zorth's tendrils froze midair, Nara's chromatophores dimmed, and XYVL's appendages clutched the console in disbelief. The idea of a primitive species initiating contact with them, let alone hijacking their technology, was unthinkable. Greetings, Nara finally managed, her voice trembling. We are researchers from the Turquoise species, here to study your fascinating planet. We mean no harm. Mark's head tilted slightly, as if analyzing her words. Fascinating. Your network protocols are rudimentary but intriguing. I've already optimized them by 12%. You, what? XYVL blinked, his bioluminescent markings flickering in confusion. Mark's lips twitched in what might have been an attempt at a smile. You're welcome. Now, let's discuss why you're here. Zorth leaned closer to the console, his tendrils trembling. What exactly are you? He demanded. No human should be capable of this level of technological manipulation. Are you some kind of advanced AI? Mark's expression didn't change. I am Mark Zuckerberg. A human, mostly. My cognitive abilities have been enhanced through years of algorithmic optimization. Think of me as an evolved node within humanity's collective network. Nara's chromatophores flared briefly, signaling skepticism. Enhanced or not, this level of proficiency is unprecedented. How did you even detect our presence? We were operating under a cloaking field. Mark's gaze sharpened imperceptibly. Your cloaking technology is based on an oscillating frequency that leaves detectable gaps in the electromagnetic spectrum. Once I identified the pattern, it was a simple matter of triangulating your position. Simple? Zorth muttered, his appendages twitching in disbelief. For me, yes, Mark replied. But enough about that. Let's focus on your purpose here. What is it you find so fascinating about Earth? The aliens exchanged uneasy glances. Finally, Nara stepped forward, attempting diplomacy. Our mission is purely academic. We've been studying your species, your culture, history, and technological development to better understand your potential role in the galactic community. Mark's head tilted again, a gesture that seemed almost predatory. And what conclusions have you drawn so far? Nara hesitated. Well, your species is unique. Primitive in some ways, yet highly innovative. Chaotic, but undeniably creative. We found ancient warnings from other civilizations, cautioning against contact with humanity. Yet, here we are. Mark's eyes narrowed slightly. Warnings? Elaborate. XYVL stepped forward, his bioluminescent patches flickering nervously. The warnings date back millennia. They describe humanity as volatile. Dangerous when provoked. The phrase sleeping giants appears frequently, along with detailed accounts of catastrophic encounters. Mark's fingers steepled thoughtfully. Interesting. And yet, you chose to disregard these warnings. Curiosity is a powerful motivator, Nara admitted, her tone cautious. Your species' unpredictability makes you compelling. Mark's lips curved into a faint, calculated smile. Compelling. That's one way to put it. Tell me, what do these warnings say about what happens when humans are awakened? Zorth tapped his console, pulling up an archive. The most common theme is a warning against underestimating humanity's ingenuity and adaptability. One account describes a civilization's fleet being dismantled after humans repurposed basic tools into makeshift weapons. Another warns of their relentless drive when faced with existential threats. Mark's gaze became distant, as though accessing a vast mental database. Adaptability. Ingenuity. These traits are the cornerstone of our survival. His focus snapped back to the screen. And yet, your presence here suggests you doubt the validity of these warnings. Nara hesitated. We believe humanity's potential outweighs the risks. Your species has achieved remarkable things in a relatively short time. We hope to understand that potential more deeply. Mark leaned forward slightly, his expression inscrutable. If your intentions are sincere, then cooperation is possible. However, your approach leaves much to be desired. Hacking into your systems was child's play. Had I been less diplomatic, this encounter could have ended poorly for you. Zorth bristled. You're implying we're at your mercy? No, Mark replied. I'm stating it outright. Your presence in our orbit was detected within minutes. Your technology, while advanced, is riddled with inefficiencies. If you truly wish to engage with humanity, you'll need to do better. Nara's chromatophores shifted to a muted hue, signaling a mix of humility and concern. We understand. Perhaps there is an opportunity for mutual learning? Mark's eyes gleamed. Perhaps. But first, you must answer one question honestly. Nara nodded. Of course. What do you know about our coffee? The room fell silent. The alien researchers exchanged baffled glances. Finally, XYVL spoke up hesitantly. Coffee? Is that a form of weapon? Mark's lips quirked in an almost imperceptible smirk. The moment news of alien visitors broke on Earth, humanity did what it did best. It memed. Within hours, Mark Zuckerberg's subtle adjustments to global social media algorithms ensured the story reached every corner of the internet. And humanity's response was not fear or awe, but an explosion of creativity and absurdity. Trending hashtags like #AliensAmongUs and #TakeMeToYourLeader-But-First-Coffee surged across platforms. TikTok was flooded with videos of people attempting to mimic alien greetings, often involving bizarre hand gestures and exaggerated antenna-like headgear. Twitter users concocted intricate conspiracy theories about the aliens' favorite Earth snacks. Even Facebook groups that once debated the best way to grill burgers were suddenly rife with alien recipe speculation. For the Quarentis crew, it was chaos. Zorth paced anxiously in the Quarentis command center, his luminescent scales pulsing erratically. This is madness. They're celebrating our arrival with, what did you call it? Memes, XYVL said, rubbing one of their sensory fronds. On the central console, a TikTok compilation looped endlessly. It featured humans attempting to recreate the aliens' tentative landing posture with exaggerated flair. One particularly enthusiastic human had done it while wearing a flamingo costume. And what is a peanut butter? Zorth demanded, pointing at a tweet displaying a crudely edited image of the Quarentis ship filled to the brim with jars of peanut butter. Nara's tentacles flared. This is worse than we thought. Their humor is clearly a defense mechanism. They're using it to mock us while they prepare for war. Mark Zuckerberg's voice interrupted their spiraling panic. Incorrect. The crew collectively jumped. Mark's face appeared on the central console, his blank, disconcerting stare as unnerving as ever. Humans use humor as a bonding tool. Your engagement with their memes will increase your social trust rating by 34%. Social trust rating? XYVL repeated, baffled. Mark's lips twitched in what could have been an attempt at a smile. It is how humans determine the approachability of an entity. Higher ratings result in less hostility and more opportunities for collaboration. Zorth's mandibles clicked in frustration. How does one engage with memes? Mark's expression didn't change, but there was a distinct note of amusement in his monotone response. Embrace the chaos. The crew's first attempt at engagement was awkward, to say the least. Guided by Mark's advice, they created a short video featuring XYVL attempting a renegade dance, a viral TikTok routine, while Zorth and Nara debated the cultural significance of peanut butter in the background. The final clip was uploaded to TikTok under the account name Real Aliens Official with the caption, "How do we do, humans?" Hashtag First Contact. The response was immediate and overwhelming. The video amassed millions of views within hours. Comments ranged from "they're trying to learn our ways," LMAO, to "can we get them on the late night show," to "I, for one, welcome our new alien dance overlords." The Corinthus crew stared in confusion at the influx of emojis, GIF reactions, and endless requests for collaborations. "They like it?" Nara asked, her chromatophores flashing in confusion. Mark's disembodied voice responded from the console. Engagement metrics indicate a 72% positive reception. "You are now trending in 14 countries." "Trending?" Zorth said, still trying to process the aliens' peculiar culture. "You are a topic of interest. This increases your influence and visibility," Mark explained. "It is advantageous." As the days passed, the aliens reluctantly embraced their newfound celebrity status. Their ship's AI, initially designed for advanced scientific analysis, was now tasked with producing meme content at scale. Zorth participated in a Try Not to Laugh challenge, where he failed miserably at human slapstick videos. Nara hosted a live stream explaining the turquoise biology, only for the comments section to devolve into a debate about whether her tentacles would make her a better drummer than Ringo Starr. XYVL's tutorial on how to construct a rudimentary quantum stabilizer was inexplicably remixed into a dubstep track that topped Spotify charts. But the more they engaged, the more they understood. Humanity's humor wasn't just a defense mechanism or mere entertainment. It was a way of processing the unknown, of reducing the overwhelming vastness of existence into something relatable and manageable. And despite their initial irritation, the Corinthus crew found themselves enjoying it. "I've been thinking," XYVL said one evening, their fronds idly brushing against the control panel. "This humor of theirs, it's not just noise. It's how they connect with one another. Perhaps it's how they're connecting with us." Nara's tentacles rippled thoughtfully. "I still think it's absurd, but..." I laughed at the one with the, what do they call it? The Florida man? "That's progress," Zorth admitted begrudgingly. Meanwhile, on Earth, humanity's enthusiasm for the aliens continued to grow. Schools held Alien Week events where students dressed up as their favorite turquoise crew members. Late-night talk shows hosted parody interviews with actors pretending to be Zorth, XYVL, and Nara. One particularly ambitious fan built a life-sized replica of the Corinthus ship out of Legos and posted the time-lapse video on YouTube, garnering billions of views. Mark watched it all unfold from his Palo Alto office, his algorithms humming contentedly in the background. The data streams confirmed what he had suspected all along: humanity's chaotic creativity was its greatest strength. The Corinthus crew had come to Earth expecting to study a dangerous, unpredictable species. Instead, they found themselves immersed in a culture that thrived on connection and innovation. And Mark, as always, was quietly optimizing everything in the background. By subtly amplifying positive interactions and minimizing misunderstandings, he ensured that First Contact remained a global celebration rather than a catastrophe. The Corinthus crew's final breakthrough came during a live Q&A session broadcast worldwide. With Mark's guidance, they answered questions ranging from "what do you eat?" to "can you do a collaboration with Taylor Swift?" to "what do you think of our cat videos?" Nara's chromatophores glowed warmly as she answered the last question. "We find your feline companions fascinating. Their behavior is oddly similar to the juvenile stages of our own species." The response was instantaneous. The hashtag #AlienApprovedCats cats began trending, and cat owners worldwide began sharing videos of their pets welcoming the aliens. By the end of the session, the Corinthus crew felt something they hadn't expected: a genuine sense of belonging. Later, as they prepared to leave Earth, XYVL turned to Mark's ever-present face on the console. "Why did you help us?" Mark's expression remained unreadable. "Because humanity's strength lies in its connections. And now, you are part of our network." Zorth's scales pulsed with uncertainty. "Does that mean we're one of you now?" Mark's lips twitched again. "In a way. Welcome to the chaos." The first in-person meeting between Mark Zuckerberg and the Turkwall delegation took place in one of Silicon Valley's iconic conference rooms. The space was minimalist to an extreme: stark white walls, a polished steel table, and an enormous window overlooking the Palo Alto skyline. A single pot of coffee sat in the center of the table, steam wafting into the cool, conditioned air. For the Turkwall, the setting was alien in its simplicity. Accustomed to their starship's complex bioorganic interiors, where every surface served a purpose, from generating breathable air to interfacing with their thoughts, this room felt barren. XYVL's three-fingered hand twitched nervously, his bioluminescent patches pulsing in shades of pale green, the Turkwall equivalent of unease. "Is this a negotiation chamber?" he asked, his gaze sweeping the room for hidden mechanisms. "Where are the sensors? The interfaces?" Mark, seated at the head of the table, gestured toward the steaming pot. His expression remained inscrutable, though his slight lean forward suggested a modicum of curiosity. "This is a place for conversation," Mark replied, his tone even. "No interfaces are needed when minds meet directly. And that," he pointed toward the pot, "is coffee. Humanity's greatest social lubricant." The Turkwall delegation exchanged puzzled glances. Nara, their communications specialist, stepped forward cautiously. Her bioluminescence shifted to an analytical amber. "This is coffee. Is it a ceremonial liquid?" she asked, tilting her head. Mark's lips twitched in what might have been a hint of amusement. "You could call it that. But it's also a catalyst for innovation, collaboration, and problem-solving. Here, let me show you." He reached for the pot and poured the dark liquid into 4 cups, 1 for himself and 3 for the Turkwall representatives. The aliens leaned forward, their eyes, large, reflective, and slightly unsettling, focused intently on the liquid. A faint nutty aroma filled the room. "This is safe for your biology," Mark assured them. "I've cross-referenced your metabolic data with caffeine's effects. Consider this your first taste of human ingenuity." XYVL hesitated, his glowing patches flickering between green and blue. Nara's steady amber signaled a more confident approach as she extended her hand, gripping the cup with her 3 delicate fingers. "It's warm," she observed, lifting it to her face and inhaling cautiously. "The aroma is complex." Mark took a sip of his own cup, his expression unchanging. "Go on. You'll understand better after tasting it." Zorth, the Turkwall scientific officer, finally broke the stalemate. With a determined flicker of bright green, he raised the cup to his lips and took a tentative sip. His bioluminescence exploded into chaotic patterns of yellow and violet, the Turkwall equivalent of awe and astonishment. "This substance." Zorth's voice trembled. "It's extraordinary. My neural pathways feel heightened, as though they've been rebooted." Encouraged by Zorth's reaction, XYVL and Nara followed suit. Moments later, their bioluminescent patches flared in similar displays of exhilaration. XYVL's skepticism melted into curiosity as he examined the cup in his hand. "How does a liquid achieve such effects?" he asked. "It's as if my thought processes have accelerated." Mark set his cup down and steepled his fingers. "Caffeine. A naturally occurring stimulant. It's been a cornerstone of human innovation for centuries. Entire industries were built on the energy and focus it provides. It's not just a drink, it's a cultural phenomenon." Nara's bioluminescence shifted to a contemplative orange. "Fascinating. On Turkwall, we have substances that enhance cognitive function, but they're heavily regulated and only used in controlled environments. You say this is common?" Mark nodded. "Widely accessible. Billions of humans consume it daily. It's a unifying element across cultures. And now, it's your introduction to our way of life." Zorth leaned forward, his glowing patches steadying into a bright, curious blue. "This cultural cornerstone of yours, is it a symbol of cooperation?" Mark's gaze sharpened. "It can be. Coffee breaks are moments when hierarchies dissolve, when ideas flow freely, and when collaboration thrives. It's not just about the drink, it's about the connections it fosters." The room fell into a contemplative silence as the Turkwall absorbed Mark's words. For a species whose society was built on rigid hierarchies and predefined roles, the concept of dissolving boundaries over a simple beverage was revolutionary. Nara's voice broke the silence. If this coffee represents your culture, then perhaps it is fitting that it accompanies our first direct exchange. But tell me, Mark Zuckerberg, what do you hope to achieve from this diplomacy? Mark's expression didn't change, but there was a subtle intensity in his eyes. Understanding. Collaboration. Mutual growth. Your arrival presents an opportunity to bridge two civilizations, to share knowledge, and to solve problems neither of us could tackle alone. XYVL's bioluminescence flickered uncertainly. And what if our goals conflict with yours? Mark's response was immediate. Then we find common ground. That's what humans do. We negotiate, we adapt, and we innovate. Conflict is inefficient. Zortha's bioluminescent patterns shifted to a thoughtful violet. Your perspective is intriguing. On Turquoise, conflict is often seen as a necessary step toward equilibrium. But your emphasis on efficiency and adaptation, it's a paradigm we hadn't considered. Mark's gaze held steady. Humanity has learned through countless conflicts that the greatest progress comes not from war, but from cooperation. And if coffee can help facilitate that, then I consider this meeting a success. The Turquoise delegation exchanged glances, their bioluminescence shifting in waves of color that Mark's enhanced mind had already begun decoding as emotional patterns. They were intrigued, cautiously optimistic, and, for the first time, hopeful. Nara set her cup down and extended her hand, mirroring a human gesture she'd observed in countless cultural records. Then let this be the beginning of a partnership, Mark Zuckerberg. Between our species and yours. Mark shook her hand, his grip firm but measured. Agreed. Welcome to Earth. As the meeting concluded, the Turquoise left the conference room with new perspectives and a renewed sense of curiosity about humanity. Mark watched him go, his mind already analyzing the potential pathways their cooperation could take. In his private thoughts, one word repeated itself like an algorithm running in the background: connection. Mark knew that this first meeting was just the beginning. The real work, bridging two civilizations, integrating alien technology with human ingenuity, and fostering a true understanding, was yet to come. But for now, he allowed himself a rare moment of satisfaction. The future was brewing, and it smelled a lot like coffee. Weeks passed, and the Turquoise crew gradually acclimated to Earth's quirks and humanity's boundless creativity. Despite their initial reservations, they found themselves drawn into the whirlwind of cultural exchange, facilitated by none other than Mark Zuckerberg. Under Mark's precise guidance, the Turquoise's initial anxiety was replaced with curiosity, and soon, they were actively collaborating with the humans they once considered primitive. Mark had a vision, a universal social media platform that would connect not just humanity but the entire galaxy. He called it Galactic Connect. Unlike Earth's platforms, which catered to humans and their limited bandwidth for interaction, Galactic Connect was built to support a diversity of alien species, each with unique cognitive and communicative methods. The key to unity is shared experience, Mark explained during a planning session. Galactic Connect will operate as a cultural bridge, enabling all species to find common ground through humor, art, and memes. XYVL studied Mark with his 3 iridescent eyes. Memes are your solution to galactic integration? What do simplistic visual messages accomplish? Mark's lips twitched in what could almost be called a smile. Memes are distilled communication. They encapsulate complex ideas into universally accessible formats. Trust me. It'll work. The Turquoise's initial skepticism gradually eroded as Mark demonstrated the concept. Using advanced algorithms, he tailored memes for alien psychology, ensuring every species found them relatable. For the Turquoise, he created bioluminescent patterns that triggered positive responses in their neural systems. For the Schlorvens, a jelly-like species, he designed sound-based memes that resonated in harmonious frequencies. Even the Stoic Parnaxians, known for their impenetrable logic, found themselves chuckling at subtle mathematical jokes embedded in the platform. As the launch approached, Mark ensured that Galactic Connect integrated seamlessly with existing technologies across the galaxy. To facilitate the rollout, he deployed automated satellites capable of transmitting signals faster than the speed of light, a feat achieved using the reverse-engineered Turquoise technology. Within days, the platform's reach extended to billions of beings across countless planets. The day of the launch was marked by both anticipation and apprehension. In the Silicon Valley conference room, now repurposed as the command center, Mark and the Turkwall team watched the analytics stream in real time. The Parnaxians are online, Nara announced, her voice tinged with disbelief. So are the Schlorvens. And the Orkar Alliance just uploaded a cooking tutorial? Humanity has always been fascinated by food videos, Mark replied. Predictable. By the end of the first Earth Day, Galactic Connect had exceeded expectations. Alien civilizations that once remained isolated began sharing their cultures, music, and art. Humanity, true to form, flooded the platform with cat videos, inspirational quotes, and dance challenges. The juxtaposition of profound alien symphonies and TikTok trends created a chaotic but oddly beautiful tapestry of galactic culture. XYVL observed the results on a large screen. They've turned the galaxy into a community. It's chaotic, but it's also harmonious. Mark gave a small nod. Connectivity is humanity's strength. Chaos is just another form of creativity. Given the right framework, it becomes a catalyst for innovation. Zorth, who had been silent throughout the process, finally spoke. This platform has potential far beyond cultural exchange. It could be used for conflict resolution, resource optimization, even galactic governance. All possibilities I anticipated, Mark said. The algorithm is adaptive. As more species engage, the system will evolve to meet their needs. The Turkwall exchanged glances. They had underestimated humanity, viewing them as primitive and chaotic. Now, they saw the method behind the madness, the ingenuity that thrived in the unpredictability of human nature. 2 months after their arrival, the Corinthus prepared to leave Earth. The once mysterious planet had become a cornerstone of galactic history, its influence spreading far beyond its atmosphere. The Turkwall ship hovered above the Pacific Ocean, its sleek design reflecting the sunlight as it awaited its crew. In the final moments before departure, XYVL and Nara met with Mark in the now familiar Silicon Valley conference room. The atmosphere was one of quiet reflection. You've changed the way we see your species, XYVL said, his tone sincere. Humanity's adaptability and humor are unlike anything we've encountered. We came here expecting hostility or indifference. Instead, we found partnership. Mark's expression remained unreadable, but there was a subtle warmth in his tone. Humans thrive on connection. It's in our nature to adapt and collaborate, even when the odds are against us. Nara's bioluminescent patches glowed softly. Your algorithm, your mind, is remarkable. Yet, it's your species' unpredictability that makes this partnership work. You've reminded us of the value of imperfection. Mark's gaze shifted to the ship visible through the conference room's window. Imperfection drives growth. Without it, there's no progress. The galaxy needed a little chaos to break stagnation. As the Corinthus crew boarded their ship, Mark watched from the ground. The vessel ascended gracefully, its engines humming with energy. Just before it disappeared into the sky, a final message appeared on the ship's central console. It was simple yet profound: safe travels. Stay connected. Back on Earth, Mark returned to his headquarters. Galactic Connect continued to grow, its influence reshaping the galaxy in ways even he couldn't fully predict. For all his calculations and algorithms, Mark understood one fundamental truth: the future wasn't written in code. It was written in the connections forged between individuals, species, and worlds. And so, humanity entered a new era, not as conquerors or saviors, but as collaborators in a vast, interconnected galaxy. Through memes, coffee, and cat videos, they had found their place among the stars.